What up, people? How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday thus far. Have you been at the Emirates? Did you have a good time? Feel free to jump into my comments. But before we go any further, it's time for you to like and subscribe. Really creaky chair. Like, subscribe, and get involved with the channel because things are going really well. I had a little complaint the other day about Rush's subs being far better than mine, which is always the case, but we're trying to catch up, okay? Bearing in mind it was Mama over here who got her into the old YouTube, so thank me with a subscribe. Am I right? A few things to talk about. I actually am massively keen on this title race and had done a preview of today's games with Sky and just found myself thinking, holy hell, this is hella tight. But let's just start with the Arsenal game, shall we? Because Spurs at Emirates, we know what happened last time round. We know that Arsenal had to give them a good run for their money today. Not getting a lot of shots on target, but ultimately getting the job done. A big 3 points. Good to see Leah Russo finding the back of the net. Beth Mead as ever, doing very well in front of goal. But ultimately, Leah Russo getting the Gunners the win. I have to say, in the first half, watching it at home, I thought, okay, Spurs have a lot to do here. They're a very strong side. They've got a lot of attacking power, but they defended so well in that first half. Other than that, not a lot coming from it. Jess Naz, of course, she hit the bar. And I actually thought Becky Spencer had a good game too. But not enough for Spurs, but that puts them still in sixth in the table. When you look above them, when you look below them, it is an incredibly exciting title race, and we've said this so many times before, haven't we? But this one feels even more of that push, and I think there's a little bit of concern for Arsenal. Arsenal fans, you may agree with me on this. How do you feel things are looking, honestly? I mean, Leah Williamson, great to see her back in the squad today. Of course, she dropped out of the international break with that hamstring injury, but now she's back in the side, came on in the second half today, and she's just a good leader. She's definitely the kind of player you want to have available to start for the next 7 games, because for Arsenal, it's no mean feat. They've still got Villa, they've still got Chelsea away, and they've still got Manchester City away. So really, when you look at it, Arsenal need to win all of their games now going forward. And they also need to make up the goal difference too. Vivianne Miedema now out for, say, the next few weeks. She needed this knee operation. Something's flared up with her knee. She needed the operation. She went away for international break. She needed the surgery anyway, played 45 minutes for the Netherlands and has now come back. She's going to have the surgery and it's going to take her out for a few weeks. So her being away and playing international didn't affect what needed to be done anyway. This was still something she had to undergo. But when you are looking to make up a goal difference, that's where you would have Vivianne Miedema there and available. So perhaps towards the end of the season, she might be able to come back in and cause that impact. And that would be great to see. Elsewhere, I think those games for City and Chelsea are so important. You've got to look at where they are in the table. Okay, Chelsea and Arsenal now level on points. Chelsea playing Leicester tonight. And I don't expect that to be in a walk in the park for Chelsea. And I'll tell you why in just a second. But Manchester City, fair play. Fair play to Gareth Taylor. That's 11 games in all competitions that they've won. They've gone for 9 consecutive league wins too, which is a record, I'm sure, for Manchester City. And I remember actually going at the Women's World Cup and speaking to Gareth Taylor, and I remember him saying that he had more players at the World Cup than any other. I think that was just WSL sides. But he's got a real strength and depth-packed squad there who all know what they're doing. They're all on the same page. And okay, no discredit to Everton. I didn't expect it to be a mountain to climb from Manchester City, but you just never know. And when you look at that game against Everton, Bunny Shaw, Lauren Hemp doing the problems that they can cause for teams. Bunny Shaw now 15 goals in 14 games. I mean, that's stepping up. That's outstanding. So I actually look at City now and I go, For me, they're starting to look like they are in pole position to maybe go on and win the title. Chelsea, never rule them out. Of course, I'll never rule them out. You've got to look at this being Emma Hayes' final season with the club before she goes to the US women's national team. But, no Lauren James, no Fran Kirby, Sam Kerr, ACL. May official, ACL. That's a problem. Going into this game, Emma Hayes has said for the match officials to look out for a physical Leicester side. Obviously, they're going to try and bully them off the park because, well, Leicester aren't as good as Chelsea, so they're going to try and give them a good old battle. Leicester are 7th in the table. They're having a much better season as to where they were last season. Got to give Willie Kirk credit for that. Again, I don't see this being an easy win for Chelsea tonight, but I expect Leicester to give them a run for the money. In fact, it could be one of those games that causes a right problem for Chelsea. Can you hear my washing machine? My God, it's loud. It's like the house is shaking. Anyway, we'll monitor how that one goes. But when it comes to the title race, now it's must wins for all top 3 to stay in there. Manchester United, okay today. West Ham, I wouldn't underestimate West Ham, especially with the impact Katrina Gorey's had. Man United are 7 points behind Arsenal and now need to make up that gap to get Champions League football. It is a truly excellent league now, isn't it? There's standard everywhere. It's been such an enjoyable season. But I do wonder, and you can let me know your thoughts, who wins the title? That's the other thing for Chelsea. They're still in every competition. Champions League football back around the corner. Okay, I think Chelsea will progress to the semi-finals. And then when they get there, they're probably going to meet the likes of Barcelona. So there's going to be all eyes on that prize. What would you rather, Chelsea fans, to win the league or to focus more on the Champions League? Or can you do it all? I mean, we know that Emma Hayes is an absolute bloody genius, but can they do it all? And when you look at the strength around you and all the other teams in the WSL, like Manchester City, who are on this undoubtedly incredible run, can Chelsea have enough to stop them? Anyway, we'll know tonight when they play Leicester. But in terms of this title race, you can let me know your thoughts. Jump in the comments. Some interesting games to look forward to. And certainly a very, very interesting time. Russia is going to be back with us next week. Thank you, by the way, for watching the last video. I also stuck that up on the podcast. It's available on Spotify and I think wherever you get your podcast, the Russia and Shaban show. That's just some formalities. I just wanted to get how I was feeling off my chest on my own. We're going to be back with you next week. And by the way, the wall gets done tomorrow. You're going to love it. I hope you're going to love it. Anyway, who cares about that? Have a good Sunday. Look after yourself. Be very, 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 very good. Bye.